live that I've ever done.
Well, it's probably going to be the best one you'll ever do. So
obviously, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Back in California, which is lovely. Weather's fantastic. Are you in New York?
I'm actually in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, okay.
Yeah, so it's cold, it's rainy. I just had to get out of New York City because it was just so, it was terrible over there.
I can imagine. Good. That's probably a smart thing to get out of there. So.
Yeah. But what have you been doing in quarantine?
Man. Writing. I've been writing a lot. I'm working on screenplays. That I'm going to be directing as soon as quarantine's over.
Okay.
I've been working on a couple new Beachcomber songs. Lots of meditating.
Okay.
I've been really getting into that through like the past 6 months, and that's been really, really big for me. Working on my mustache, as you can. Oh, sorry, the dogs are barking around.
No worries, no worries. I have done none of that. I've just been sleeping, working, just not really exploring. Just just hanging out, because you're kind of like me. You travel all the time, and it's like when you have time to relax, you're gonna utilize it.
Yeah, exactly. We were up at our family cabin in Colorado for about a month, and up there is really kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's we have no neighbors or anything. It's just land, and so we were doing a bunch of hiking, and we back outside. So it was like a lot of little house stuff. That was really nice.
Awesome. But tomorrow's a big day. I know you've been teasing this all on Instagram. You have a new song out. So it is your
Yes, I do.
Pina Colada song. Talk to us about it.
Yeah. It was actually together with a couple friends and my brother-in-law, just to rehearse and jam on some of the songs that I was thinking about, just to see if it would work. Like if I felt comfortable singing and doing that whole thing, singing a lot and playing bass, because I sang a fair amount with R5, but it wasn't like full lead singer thing. Mm-hmm. So it was like the first song we played, and you just kick into that and it was just like, oh, this is exactly what I pictured in my head. It felt so good, and we had played it at every show on tour and here in Los Angeles. So I was just like, let's just do a studio version. I hit up the guy who I've been having play guitar for me. His name's Eric Sampson, good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And he has a studio in North Hollywood. So we went over there, and then my brother-in-law, who's my drummer, Chase, he came over, and he laid down the drums, and we did the whole thing in like a day. It was really fun.
This is so cool. I love that you're still doing music, especially, since the departure of R5 and your brothers are doing the Driver era. So how did this all come about with Riker and the Beachcombers?
I think when R5 when we were like, all right, we're going to take a break, and we had, the boys had the song Preacher Man, and they were like, this is sort of leaning in a new direction. Mm-hmm. I realized that I had this tropical, beachy mindset that I love, and I love everything in that category of the world. And I was like, there's something here that I haven't fully touched on. And we kind of briefly got there with there's a lot of tropical sounds in the song If that we had with R5. Mm-hmm. And Cali Girls obviously is a very like a beach rock song. Mm-hmm. So we kind of touched on that, and I was like, there's just so much more potential in this lane for me, and I think I bring a lot of that sort of vibe when I'm just me and myself. And so I was like, well, let me see what I can do with more music in this realm. And nobody was really doing this sort of like pure feel good beachy tropical thing, at least in like the younger world. Obviously there's Jimmy Buffett and a lot of country artists kind of have this thing, but as far as like the younger, 20s something bands and artists, a lot of it's like kind of, alternative and emo and a little more emotional and more deeply thought about. And I just wanted it to be like, you press play and you're like, oh my God, I feel so good. I don't even know what the song's about, but I feel amazing.
Yeah.
That was just sort of my goal. And, it's really, really early stages in this project still. We're still trying to, get it going. This is only the 4th song we've ever released. So it's really just a growing thing. Like we were in R5 for like 5 years before it really took off.
Yeah.
And so this is only year 2 of Riker and the Beachcombers, so we're just
Mhm.
started.
And how'd you come up with the name?
So it was between Riker and the Beachcombers or Riker and the Rum Runners. And
Okay.
Rum Runners was just like, that's a lot of R's. It's kind of hard to say. And the Beachcomber, so Don the Beachcomber is the original founding father of the tiki bar. Like if you walk into any tiki bar, that whole decoration and the vibe, he created all of this, and his name was Don the Beachcomber.
Okay.
And so a beachcomber is the guys that are on the beach with the metal detectors, and they're like combing the beach looking for treasure. So it's like a pirate, like a current pirate kind of thing where you're looking for gold, looking for silver. But it also, I wanted something that had to do, like the word was like beach, or something that was just immediately you thought, oh, tropical, beachy, paradise kind of a thing.
Awesome. And I love how you're still, playing with Drive Era and working on this as well.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah, I'm super grateful that they were like, Riker, you want to come play bass for us? Because I was like, please let me play bass.
And how are you balancing everything, really?
Honestly, it's just a lot of just like trying to fit in, where the gaps are. Like I was ready to go. We were ready to do the Driver Era tour. We were supposed to be out there right now, all the way through, like, I think it was end of June or end of July. And then I was going to do Beachcomber tour right after that throughout the rest of the summer. And then in, end of September, early October, I was set to shoot this, my next film that I'm going to be directing.
Oh, crazy.
So it's just, really just balancing, and like if their stuff's a little bit bigger than mine, so it's easy to sort of like, okay, the Driver Era, we got this whole tour plan, so I just kind of book out for that, and I'll do that whole thing, and then come back and do movies when I have time.
Of course, and you do have a movie out right now.
I do. I have 2 movies out on Amazon.
Yeah. Tell us about them.
So the first one is Colossal Youth. It's a high school comedy. I play the reckless partier guy. His name's Greg Randall. Super fun character. I loved playing Greg. It was like so much ad lib, and the set chemistry with all of the rest of the cast. I mean, we still keep in touch this day. We're all really, really good friends. And then Turnover was fun because I got to play sort of the antagonist. I'm a little bit of the villain, and that one was fun. We shot that in Long Beach, so it was here in California, and my dad would fly me because I live up in the valley. So my dad would fly me in his plane because Long Beach, like in the morning to get to set at 8 a.m. like
Horrible.
That traffic. Oh my God. So
yeah.
Fly me in his plane down to Long Beach, and he would hang out with me on set. It was really, really cool. But that's like not a coming of age. Colossal Youth is coming of age, but this is like it's a good, feel good family sort of a story about this guy who is kind of going through it with life, and through the people at his cafe. He's a cafe owner. He sort of realizes, he discovers a new take on life, and becomes better because of it.
Awesome. And in between all of this, you still found time to get married, which is absolutely crazy. I remember when you guys were super young. Just tell us, how's married life?
Yeah, it's great. She's in Colorado right now with her family, and I'm here with my family. So we're both very much missing each other, but we also both love living with our parents. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Married life is fantastic. I feel so fortunate to have found Vanny, and we're building a life together now, and it's I've been around the world, and I've met a lot of people, and she's just very, very special to my heart. That's for sure.
That's amazing. And now, is she inspiring any of this music that you're working on? You said you've been working on music in quarantine.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
She's definitely, I'm kind of like, I'll be in the corner, like messing around on the guitar, and she'll come over and be like, play it for me. She's very supportive, and always wants to hear what I'm working on and whatnot. And she's been like the star of all the music videos so far. The one we shot one yesterday for the Pina Colada song. And quarantine. It's gonna be kind of ridiculous and kind of hilarious, but that'll be out in the next couple of days. But that'll be the first Riker and the Beachcombers music video that she's actually not in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. And I know your sister's getting married too.
Yeah, my sister is. So she's engaged. She's trying to figure it out with all this quarantine and the COVID stuff. She wants to get married in September so bad. And we're like, we don't even know what the world is going to be doing right now. Let's just take our time, you know, but she wants to be married so bad, and she's completely head over heels for Capron, and he's such a good guy that it's really working out. We're very fortunate for that, for sure.
Awesome. And now, you know, you said that more music is coming out. Do you have a date on that yet? Well, what's going on with this?
Well, I'm going in to record on Monday.
Okay.
With that'll be the next single. So we're just gonna try to get that done as soon as possible. Get it mixed. Get some music video together for it. That one might be a little more difficult to do music video because it's a little bit more. There's more to it, but yeah. I would love to get that out in next month. Really, it's just gonna depend on when it all just gets finished. We'll see. I haven't sang in the studio in a while, so we'll see how it goes.
And it's crazy to know, you know, you guys have been around for so long, and I've seen so much growth from when I first met you guys back in, I don't know, like 2013, 2014 to now. How would you maybe describe how you've grown as a person, maybe a musician or even an actor? If you could like sum it up in that way.
I think it's all in each area. It's a little different. I'd say as an actor, I prepare a lot more than I did. And the preparing is actually easier now just because practice memorizing things and getting into character. I've been doing it for so many years now. It's getting quicker, but I definitely focus a lot more on that. Whereas like I'd have an audition when I first got out here, and I wouldn't be memorized because I was just being lazy. So I'm definitely more focused and determined with acting. I absolutely love it. And I think growing as a person just within this industry, I think I'm a little bit more I don't take myself or the whole thing too seriously, you know. Like in the beginning, it was constantly like, you know, oh my gosh, why aren't we being played on radio? And you're like getting upset because other bands are getting all this radio play, and you're constantly like comparing yourself. And that was like just early, you know, I was like 19 when we were really kind of picking up with R5, and so that was 10 years ago.
Crazy to think that was 10 years ago.
Right? Yeah. And so now I don't care what anybody else is doing at all. I'm just like, I have these songs. I'm super excited about these songs. You know, I love playing shows to whoever shows up. And as a person, I think I'm appreciating things a lot more. Like I remember we were playing these huge venues, and with R5, and you know, it'd be like, why? It'd be like, what? How come we can play this huge venue, but we can't? Radio won't play us. Like radio just didn't want to touch us for some reason, and we were all caught up on that rather than being like, holy crap, there's 6,000 people in the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's just a matter of, it's really just perspective. And I think we had to kind of go through those stages to really learn to appreciate those things. And now back, like it was the most incredible thing. And I'm so grateful for the amount of touring that we did, because everybody that came out to those shows, I mean, that was, you know, I didn't realize it at the time, but that was so special. And I appreciated it on some level, but looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I took it for granted a little bit, and now I know I won't. Yeah,
I remember. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. I used to go to a ton of your shows. I mean, that's what kind of like got me hooked on your guys' music, because the live aspect was just, it was incredible compared to even the studio version. It was awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we took a lot of pride in making our live shows just as good as we possibly could, because when we got signed, you know, it's like oh, you guys are just teenagers, so we're going to put you with all these producers and songwriters because you're just young and you're still figuring it out. And we were like, wait, what? We're not going to do our own thing? And so when it came to the live show, that's where we really got, full reign of whatever we wanted to do. And we were like, we're going to make this even better than the records. That was our main goal. So thank you for saying that.
Oh, no problem. I hope that quarantine ends and all this social distancing ends so we could go back to concerts and
I know, right?
Perform too.
No concerts, no sports. I am freaking out.
This is the longest that I haven't been on a plane, been to a concert, been to a sporting event. I'm like, this is what normal life is like. It's crazy.
It's bizarre. Crazy. Very bizarre. But I heard I'm kind of a health nut, and I follow all these health blogs and stuff. And I heard somebody say they put it really well. It was like, take advantage of this downtime and just, relax and have no stress and be with your loved ones, because this is probably the only time in our lifetime where the entire